So when are we going to see this 2025 alt season exactly? It's a strange bull cycle this time around in 2025, and nobody seems to have the exact answer, to be honest, but the consensus is that it's coming. The question, more than when it's going to finally hit, is are you ready in terms of having the right altcoins to make the most out of this alt season and this bull run? Are you in a position to optimize? Since April, Bitcoin is actually up 36% from $79,000 to about $108,000. Ethereum, we've kind of forgotten about, but it's up 61% in that same period of time since April, from just under 1,600 to about 2,600. What's going on exactly? This is the new trend that we've been observing, that we've been trying to study to the best of our ability. Big caps are definitely, just going by the numbers here, big caps are growing. Everything else is kind of shrinking. And if I'm going to be rational here, my full expectation is that this is going to continue. With that being said, we're kind of modifying the strategy a little bit, not entirely, but just a bit. And we're reevaluating where you would put $1,000 in terms of dry powder right now into your portfolio. There's 4 projects that we're buying specifically for altcoins. One of them is not a big cap. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest. I genuinely wish you well, but I'm not a financial or investment advisor, and this video is not official financial or investment advice. We're kicking off here at number 1 with Sky, which is a name that you may not be familiar with, but you probably would be if I mentioned that it's the rebrand of Maker, just in the same way that DAI, D-A-I, is going through a rebrand to USDS. So it's kind of a new spin on an older familiar project, I think you could say. Sky is on our list because stablecoin issuers, very simply, are going to do pretty well in this market, particularly at the level of legislation. Laws in the United States are much more favorable. That just continues to be the case. We think it will continue to be the case. Laws are clearer and a lot more stablecoin friendly than they were in previous years, that's for sure. And obviously the most notable example here I can bring up is the Genius Act. This passed the Senate and it has a couple of very Sky-friendly provisions in it, including actually a ban on yield-bearing stablecoins. So this means that incumbents, the big dogs in the space, USDT, USDC, and as I mentioned, USDS a moment ago, have a pretty big edge, both in continued use and if they want to become, for example, like Paxos and become a white label stablecoin issuer. This law makes Sky much more valuable. It's very simple. And kind of quietly and steadily, but very impressively nonetheless, Sky, SKI, is up nearly 47% in the last 3 months, from about 5.3 cents to where it sits now, 8.1 cents. It's very healthy, and it's also very much bucking the more general market trend, given that it's also up in the last month as well, when pretty much everything else is down. So $1,000 in dry powder is what we're working with today in this video. We are putting $300, 30% into Sky. It's a project that is healthy, it's growing, it's well positioned, and under the radar right now in terms of people's awareness of it. A lot of things in terms of what they're doing as a project, but also the broader landscape of legislation here are going to work in its favor. So if it's not on your radar yet, I would suggest you take a closer look at it. If you are an American, then I'm talking to you because we found an exchange that gives you the best of both worlds. If you want to trade spot markets on over 400 trading pairs and without KYC, you can. If you want to trade perpetuals on over 150 trading pairs with KYC, that by the way accepts Americans as well as Canadians, you can do that as well. The only exchange we've seen in the market that lets you do both simple spot trading without KYC and perps trading with KYC that Americans can use is BYDFi. And right now they have a great new promotion going on where you can win a Rolex. BYDFi gives you all the tools you need without any of the crazy requirements. And right now they have this new promotion that I mentioned where you can win some great prizes, including a Rolex. The promotion goes from the 3rd of July all the way to the 3rd of August. So you still have several weeks to take part. After you sign up for your BYDFi Altcoin Buzz exclusive account, or after you log in, if you already have one, here's what you do. If your futures trading volume is higher than $1 million, you win an AirPod. It's that simple. But prices move up pretty quickly from there and include an iPad, a new iPhone 16, a Louis Vuitton backpack, and a Rolex Submariner with a retail value of $10,000. These are some very sweet prizes for basically doing what you'd likely be doing anyway, trading on a tier 1 exchange like BYDFi. So if you have not yet checked out BYDFi, now is the perfect time to try it. Just make sure that you use your Altcoin Buzz exclusive link to sign up. That way you're going to be eligible for all these rewards. No need for KYC, start trading, and get your bonuses. Check out the links in the description of this video. AAVE is next on our list, AAVE. It's maybe not a project that we've talked about recently, but certainly it's one of the leaders in DeFi, decentralized finance. It's actually doing even better than Sky, believe it or not. Again, kind of quietly behind the scenes. It's up about 115% in the last 3 months. AAVE's TVL, its total value locked, is growing even faster than the sector as a whole, and it's already the biggest protocol by TVL. In fact, if you take a look at this, you can see that it is the only protocol larger than Lido, and for context, all Lido does is staking. AAVE is the largest lending and borrowing protocol in crypto, and their position is only getting cemented as more and more dominant over time. So this one isn't quite, under the radar, as I mentioned, in the same way that Sky is, but we do expect its growth to continue. Again, this is one that's doing good work, and the landscape of legislation is also, going to work in its favor. We're putting another 30%, another $300 into AAVE. Okay, for our next $300 here, we're going with really an old favorite in the form of Solana and SOL, SOL. Probably not a big surprise. We've talked often about Solana's resilience in the market, going all the way back to the FTX debacle, to what's going on in current market conditions. And Solana has been really one of the clear leaders for altcoins in this market, also for meme coins, which is not my jam. But if you include the meme coin variable, then, I guess the argument goes that it's even more of a leader, right? When users bridge away from Ethereum and its whole EVM ecosystem, really it's only to one of two places. It's either Solana or Sui. And of course, Solana does more volume, but both are kind of the recipients of people's frustrations with Ethereum, you could say. And very simply, we expect this trend to continue. Solana is the place where people are making apps and protocols that others want. They're responding to the demand organically. And look, even if you don't love meme coins, the fact is, we're putting on our objective hats here. Pump.fun is there, and that's no accident. Or if you love NFTs, non-fungible tokens, then Magic Eden is also there. On the slightly more serious side, you have great tools. You have things like tokenized stocks, which are there. Those are crushing, by the way, because that's exactly where people are right now. They want more and more of that. You could love it or you can hate it, all these offerings. But the fact is that Solana is building more of what people want than any other chain. Any price, I should say, of SOL SOL under $200 in my book is a pretty good buy. We're allocating another 30%, another $300 into SOL. As you have seen these last few days and these last few weeks, we've been talking about slowly unveiling a new project that we're very proud of here at Altcoin Buzz. Check out the link in the description below. We're inviting all of our viewers to try it, to check it out. Once again, you can find the link and participate in the description below. Okay, and like I said, the remaining part of our investment, the last 10%, we have $100 left, is going into something that is not a big cap. This is on the riskier side of our allocation in this video. We're going to be looking at an AI gem, $100 worth, and it's a small cap. To be fair, small caps have been getting crushed these last few weeks and months. I don't really see that changing anytime soon, except for very, very few exceptions. And there is a chance that this is going to be one of them. Some of the small caps, in particular in sectors like AI and RWA, real world assets, for the best of those projects, they probably will enjoy some kind of a breakout when they start to grow the way that we all expect them to grow. And the AI altcoin gem that I think you should consider is Chutes AI, known to some as BitTensor Subnet 64. SN64 is the ticker. Its current market cap is $62 million, very firmly putting it in the small cap category. And the idea is that Chutes lets you deploy, run, and scale any model AI in seconds. That's their quote. And that means upload your model of choice, train it how you want on your data privately, and then use it how you need to use it. Not too surprisingly, DeepSeek is a popular choice as a solid kind of all-around, all-purpose LLM, large language model. that is also lightweight to download and run on Chutes. Chutes only does computing power for AI models. With its APIs, you can run other models too, so things like Mistral, Llama, and Qwen. That's Qwen. Yet, DeepSeek appears to be the most popular so far. And fans of decentralized AI, and those that maybe want to train models without giving all their data away to OpenAI, for example, appreciate what Chutes offers here. Now, as you can see, we're down over 30% in the last 3 months. If we rewind to just a month ago, Chutes was worth over $100 million. But at least in my opinion, it's come down the way most altcoins have in the last few weeks, kind of through no fault of its own. And so this is a higher risk entry on the list. Certainly, it's actually much higher than the first 3 entries because, again, it's a small cap. But I do see this as a buying opportunity. If you're interested, you can start by buying BitTensor's native Tau, T-A-O, and you stronghold some of this as well, by the way. We love that project. Then you take some of your Tau and allocate it to Subnet 64. Then that means through that process, you're invested in Chutes. And yeah, that is definitely a roundabout way to purchase because it includes extra steps and therefore added friction. So it's not the easiest way to go about it. But if you think about it, that's an advantage to you as a purchaser, as a buyer, because once some of the BitTensor subnets get direct exchange access, just that ease of access means their prices will probably go up. In some cases, will probably go parabolic. So if you like this project, maybe look at that as an advantage, that roundabout methodology, and you can stock up while no one, hopefully else, is noticing what's going on.